Remember WRC 8? Well, WRC 9 is all that and more. It's a sort of remastered version of WRC 8 with a bit more extra stuff included in the mix. And when a game is set to be released also for the next gen systems that are coming, the remastered aspect has to be taken really seriously. With that said, when I first set my eyes upon this new installment, that supposed generational leap wasn't that obvious. Probably because I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version on the normal PS4 and not the Pro. Even so, I've noticed a slight upgrade in the environmental lighting, on the sensation of depth and on the attention to detail, with believable shadows, dust and sun reflections on surfaces, small details that are proof that Kiloton indeed took their time to implement their expertise all around this new entry in the series, taking it to a slightly higher level. Still, not the quality standards set by Dirt Rally 2.0 from Codemasters. 3 new rallies are waiting for us and ready to be enjoyed: New Zealand, Japan and the mythic Safari Rally. In WRC 9 we have a total of 13 totally different environments to race on, through the course of over 100 stages, from which over 30 are completely new. Extra content will also arrive in the future, both free and paid DLC. And something that I've always loved about Kiloton and their rally titles is that we have, right out of the box, all official rally locations available and ready to be experienced. But not everything looks and sounds that great. Driving over tarmac feels a bit artificial, mainly on those more sinuous parts of the stages, while on loose dirt everything flows like it should, when power sliding around hairpins for example. And the New Zealand stages are a treat for all rally racers out there that love driving fast with constant changes of direction. On tarmac though, the weight and mass transfer aren't quite right, what can lead to crashes that could be completely avoided. But to be honest, I never enjoyed playing on tarmac, so I guess that the problem lies within myself. Apart from that, everything else is spot on, but bear in mind that this is still a game for a niche audience. But isn't FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer for a niche audience also? These games are for the competitor that lives inside of us. If you don't like to compete, then you're on the completely wrong page and sports games aren't for you. Maybe you should be playing Flight Simulator instead. WRC 9 brings a lot of new content, with 15 classic cars awaiting to be unlocked, a co-driver mode to play cooperatively, and that will be delivered for free on a scheduled November 2020 update, and a clubs mode where we can set up our own championship to race with friends. We can play in 3 clubs besides our own at any one time, and an esports patch will arrive by December, anticipating next year's esports competition. WRC 9 is, to my eyes, a simcade, a mix of simulation and arcade that can be fully enjoyed with a gamepad, again, if you're familiar with this sort of games. And the team behind its development are saying that the haptic feedback from PS5's DualSense controller will once again revamp the experience, not mentioning the expected 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, and in this year's WRC title, only our brain is our enemy. The handling, physics and suspension control inspires way more confidence than on previous installments, allowing us to push harder and harder each time. WRC 9 really feels natural and realistic, truly important characteristics in a game of this nature. Well, on dirt and dusty surfaces at least. The career mode from WRC 8 makes a return that will let us climb our way up from Junior WRC or WRC 3 through WRC 2, finally culminating in the main WRC category. In between we have the chance to manage the team in terms of vehicle upgrades and of hiring staff and specialized personnel for the many different areas that surrounds the sport, so that we can achieve the many proposed objectives and attain the much desired contracts and try to reach victorious to the top. When not competing for the championship, we can relax entering other events featuring historic cars and other driving tests under extreme weather conditions, for example, again, just like what was offered last year on WRC 8. The main difference now is probably the inclusion of the WRC 3 class, that simply didn't exist in the previous installment. On the other hand, the AI performance is a bit strange. In one stage and after a perfect run, we're completely destroyed by our opponents, and in the next, and driving like a baby, we finish first with dozens of seconds of advantage. All the stages carried over from WRC 8 look the same, but a more satisfying feeling of immersion while driving them was indeed added. Still, the normal PS4 version can't visually transmit the sensation that we're facing a current generation game, when inevitably comparing it with the obvious Dirt Rally 2.0. But we can indeed witness an environmental upgrade in relation to last year's release, just by stopping the car to admire the surroundings. But WRC 9 is a game to be played fast, the fastest possible, but again, we can't simply ignore all the work that was put on by Kiloton's small development team to bring WRC 9 to life and take the series to a new level of immersion, allied with the amazing dynamic weather and the game's own sound engine, features that play huge roles in the whole authenticity. Even so, driving in Kenya was truly disappointing. I was really looking forward to this year's release, cause I had huge expectations of driving in completely drenched stages, with tons of mud to negotiate, on classic vehicles like the Celica, with those exhaust pipes coming up from the bonnet all the way up to the roof. Even so, this is still a work-in-progress game, a sort of early access, cause besides all the awesome stuff that will be rolling out for the next-gen systems, Kiloton has already promised that they will also be releasing completely free of charge 6 new additional Finnish stages and 6 Portuguese in October and in November respectively, besides other freebies like a photo mode, a new concept car and a new extra WRC driver. Isn't that awesome? Highly recommended, but again, only if you're a fan of this particular form of motorsport. Hope you've enjoyed this video, so if you did, you know the drill. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Junction right. Whoops.